Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So last video we got everything stripped out of the Jeep, got everything under the dash, everything under the hood. This video I would like to get it running and driving, but I don't have my battery tray that I ordered, so I can't get it running yet. But I got a bunch of parts that we can install. I'd like to get it jacked up, get it pressure washed, check out the brakes, see what's going on there, and yeah, stuff like that. Alright, got the wheels and tires off, got the whole Jeep pressure washed. Actually looks pretty good for what it is. So all I got now is to do some parts. I got they call it a tie down kit for the windshield, but it's not really a tie down kit, it's like a catch. Got a new starter, choke cable, glove box latch, PCV grommet, headlight switch, ignition, and I got a new radiator, so this is the tubing for that. Well, these don't want to fit right in. They do look a little flared out. Try and squeeze them. Yeah, just a little flared out. There we go. Alright, well, this grommet's supposed to fit in that vent tube. It's the right size on this end for the breather. That fits, but this end's way too big. Yeah, I mean, that's way too big. That's like... it might fit, but I don't know, it's too tight. All right, let's take this valve cover off, see if that'll help us get that on.
Ooh, there's a leaf in there. Lovely. Alright, let's see if we can work this on from both sides. Alrighty guys, we got the grommet in. Got the grommet in the breather. What I ended up having to do was take a die grinder, clean that out. Got the grommet finally fit. Got the breather fit. But the breather is broken. It's snapped and bent like there. So I'm gonna get a new breather, but it was a little frustrating trying to get that grommet in. Figured I'd just get the die grinder out and that solved it, so. Alright guys, I hope this is a good view. Let's get this starter pulled. Whew. All right, new one's going in. Alright, let's get these couple switches installed. This is going to be our headlights. Look at that. Sweet. Alright guys, I want to get this transmission cover panel replaced. We got a lot of panels missing. Can't put the boots on for the shift levers. So I got a whole new panel. Let's get this one replaced. Looks like a lot of this has just received the old self-tapper treatment over the years. Well, this should be fun to get out. This. My goodness, I was barely on there. Let's take this off. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Okay, yesterday, that gas pedal had a bracket on the backside where it was attached to this plate. There we go. All right, I'm hoping to slip this on in one shot. Let's put that down. Rather than taking off the top like I did to get it off. Okay, we have a problem. This has been sitting in the sun and it is 1,000 degrees, so I need to get some gloves. Let's get this on. Oh yeah. Seems like the holes aren't lining up. Let's take this out and compare it to our old one. All right, it does appear to be slightly different. So I did separate the top and bottom because I want to see exactly what is different. Yeah. This is a different shape, I guess. Doesn't really conform to this shape. All right, let's get this new fuel tank in. All right, got the fuel tank installed. We got to get a new sending unit though, because I pulled the old one out of the old tank, and yeah, that's not going to work. So the entire float's broken off. Ordered a new one on Amazon, be here in a couple days. So alrighty, you guys, let's get our sending unit installed here. Pretty simple, just a little float and one wire. I guess two, I'll add a ground to it, but yeah. Put my gasket on. These holes are slightly different in this. I guess it's directional. All right. Okay, so here's what we had going on originally. We got the fuel pickup, fuel line goes down, runs underneath, tied into that filter right there. From that filter, it transitions from 1/4 inch line to 3/8. So the 3/8 line is actually pretty good. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna get rid of all the 1/4. We're gonna relocate the filter because I don't wanna be laying on my back every time I want to change it. Try and relocate it somewhere in here so I'm standing and it's in the 3/8 line. Alright, so let's run this fuel line. Through here. That connected. All right, so here's what we got going on. From the tank down, I got some nice insulated clips. I did put the filter back where it was just because I didn't have a fitting to go from 1/4 to 3/8. So how it works as a barb to transition those. So we got the filter there. You can see it comes out right into the fuel pump. So let's get this sending unit wired up. All right guys, here's the program we got going on. Got the sending unit wired in to the fuel gauge, ignition wired in the fuel gauge, got a ground wired in, and we are working. Look at that. That's awesome. All right, let's get this hood latch kit installed. All right, let's get this rad replaced. I'm glad there was actually some fluid in there. Looking in the cap, this thing looks like it's completely rusted out, which the water that came out of it's rusty, so they probably didn't run coolant, they probably just had water in here. It's got to be the easiest radiator I've ever pulled. All right, let's blow this out before we put the new one in. Perfect. Okay guys, I already got the radiator in. The GoPro overheated, so I didn't get to show putting the hoses in, but that's pretty straightforward. So radiator's all done. Let's get this fan belt put in. Alright, fan belt is on. Alright guys, it's time to do the brakes. I've already done the other three. I'm surprised that actually came off. I've already done the other three just because they're all the same and you don't need to watch all four get done. So I'll show you one of them, I'll show you the process I'm doing. I'm not replacing anything because everything is actually pretty good. The only thing I'm concerned about, which this is actually already come disconnected. So the only thing I'm concerned about is these wheel cylinders, I think that's what it's called, are stuck. So whenever you press on the brakes, they don't actually expand and cause the shoes to expand. So I'm basically just pulling everything off, cleaning it, and then getting it all working again. And that's actually supposed to be connected. Alright, shoes come off pretty easy and all the springs and everything. This is actually the greasiest, dirtiest one, I would say. The rest of them have been pretty good. So we got a brake line in the back and 2 bolts that hold on that wheel cylinder. Alright, let's get these parts cleaned up. Okay, we're in the shop. Basically all I'm doing is getting all these parts wire wheeled, getting all the gunk and the grime off of them. So let's have at it. we got all our parts cleaned up. Threw a coat of black paint on the backing plate. So let's get all this reassembled. Okay, brake line's on. Let's get these shoes on. Alright guys, my new windshield frame came in, so I need to get these old hinges put on so we can get the new windshield in. So we got the other side on. I can't imagine this is the most fun thing to watch, but it is part of the journey. So we're gonna do this one the easy way. Well guys, we're gonna wrap it up on this video. We've made some pretty good progress, I think. Still got a long way to go before she's road ready, but we've made some valiant efforts here in this video. And if you were still watching this, I appreciate it more than you probably even know. And I hope you stick around, check out what's coming next, and I'll see you guys there.